Good morning. Oh, that is very bright. One sec.
Yeah. Ooh,
There we go. That'll work better.
good
How are
morning.
you?
Good. Really good.
Yeah.
I think I held baby all night, but
Oh my gosh.
it's kind of to
Uh,
be expected when he spends all day with grandma on Thursdays. So,
I always found that kids, it's like they make you pay for taking time away from them.
yeah, it's like,
You're gonna
okay,
catch up,
yoga time.
right? I used to think my kids were I would leave and I would go away, and I could even go away like sometimes I'd go away for a weekend or something like that, right? When the kids were little, and you'd come back and they would be happy as anything when you were gone. The moment you walked in the door and all hell would break loose.
Yeah, the mama factor.
Right?
Ah! Yeah, for sure.
I thought you were leaving us forever. Now I'm just so sad that you're back.
She just come back.
Right?
It just goes to show, how our resilience is wired. Like, okay, it's not here in front of me. I'm okay. But
Right.
then it's like, okay, she's back. It's safe to feel my emotion
Right.
release.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty
True.
cool. It's pretty cool
It's
to see
pretty
that
cool.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
So, how was your week?
my week was um it was I can't say full. It was distracting. It was but at the same time enlightening because it was so distracting.
Okay, tell me about that.
So just I'm a time blocker. Like, let me share my calendar with you. This is one of my big
Okay.
things. Oh, you gotta.
Oh, yep. Let me share. Okay, you're good.
So this is my calendar before I really put anything in it. Like there's stuff like this will be next week,
Right.
right? I've already my world is already crazy.
Yeah.
So I look at this in the morning and guess what happens?
What happens?
Right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. What do you get from looking or creating this kind of crazy?
Well, this allows me to hold spots. I think my biggest thing here is one of the things that is just holding space and not really a committed space. Like this, a lot of this red is holding space. And I need to change that because
Okay.
that is creating me a lot of anxiety.
Okay. Yes. And I wasn't gonna talk about this just yet, but actually I feel like it's appropriate to bring it up because I feel like you're bringing this approach to our work together and it really shouldn't be that complicated. Um, and so I was gonna ask you, like, do you feel like you have time to do the work that we're doing?
Uh, I do. I do. This last week was incredibly challenging with what happened on the weekend.
Right.
So that was emotionally draining. It was a lot. And I think my medicine as well. So there was a couple of factors that were going on. So because I sat down and I thought, okay, what is really happening here? And and yesterday when I was sitting on this was like, I know that I have the space. I know that I have the time. I know that, but where is it and how am I using it properly? Right? Like that's to me the biggest thing. So it was like I've overscheduled and underutilized myself. Does that make sense? Like those are the words that came to me. It wasn't even like not productive, it was underutilized, overscheduled and underutilized. And I believe it's because of how I set my calendar up because I'm feeling this when I start working, I'm thinking the next thing that's in my calendar, that I have, and it all comes down to this red, really comes to this red. That's the wrong color to put in this space,
That's
right?
the next question I was gonna ask you. What's your relationship with red?
Red to me is urgent, dire, never change. It is urgent on everybody else, but those reds are not urgent on anybody else but me.
Okay, so notice that there's a few layers here. There's the urgent for everybody else. They're not
Yeah,
urgent for anybody but me. And then my
yeah.
next question is, what do you think your messaging behind creating an alert for this type of activity was for you? So just take a deep breath, tune into your body. What do you think? And it's probably the first thing that's going to come to mind. Feel free to close your eyes or look at the red, whichever feels more.
So say what you were saying again. What do I get from creating an alert like this?
Yes, because you've just said red is alert. You've also just said alert. It's alert for nobody but me, basically. Everybody else
Hmm.
is not, has nothing to do with everybody else. It's only an alert for me.
Hmm.
So what do you think that's about?
It's about saving space for other people because those are to do with being available for clients. But yet the clients will, that's attached to my calendar, which will pop in anyways.
Okay. So what are you getting from that right now? What's your understanding here?
I, if I was to be brutally honest, I feel like I hold too much space for other people and not for the things that I need for me.
Prioritization is a very
Yeah.
important skill.
Like I've spent the whole week mulling this over because I felt like I was just spinning from one to catch up from what happened because I was really feeling off. And so a couple things happened last week where I was talking to friends and they would
Can
say to
you
me, "Oh,
can you stop sharing just because I want to be able to read your
yeah."
expressions here?
So
Perfect, thank you.
a couple times last week, so I've been my doctor put me on this medicine to help me sleep. So this medicine is also an antidepressant, even though that's not what they gave it to me for. It's antidepressant. It's for just a bunch of things, right? They use it for a multi-factor of things. So, and it can make you tired. And I told you about that earlier in the week where, oh, crazy, like falling asleep at things. And I also, when I was talking to some friends, they were like, I'd be on the phone with them. Not necessarily, well, she was here personally, yes, one friend was here, and they messaged me after and they said, "Are you okay?" And there was nothing really wrong with me. And then the second time it really happened to me, and I gave my answer and I hung up the phone and I went, "Whoa." The way I answered was, "Yeah, I'm good," and hung up the phone, right? Like how short and how and not me and just disconnected. And I thought, okay, so now I'm aware of this. And so I talked to my husband about it. I said, I can't wait till the doctor can move something forward to help something else and I don't have to be on that. But being aware of how I'm feeling or not or disconnected without realizing, being more intentional about that, right? And just kind of bringing myself in. So those were a couple things. So I was just really weighing on myself last week, very reflective of a lot of stuff you and I talked about, brought up a lot of stuff that I didn't really want to, wasn't really thinking about, and it's not my favorite subject. And then the one of the main characters in that subject was um, was in a health crisis as well. So all that just like whoa, where does it come from? So, although I look at those and those are a lot happening, it put me to a place of just going, how do I make this work for me so that I know I have the time. That calendar is full, but it's full of a lot of holes. It's full of a lot of things that can move. It's full of a lot of fluidity. But I feel so, I've always felt so committed to my calendar, always, my
Yeah.
whole life.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, there's so many layers here. Let's just call them out, but we're going to talk about
Okay.
the commitment to the calendar.
Okay.
First of all, just take a nice deep breath because you just did like, just unleashed all the things that have been weighing on you for the week and just acknowledge that you are paying attention.
Yeah.
You're not sweeping it under the rug. You're giving
Mm-mm.
yourself time and space.
Yeah.
And also notice how it is a time of transition for you. And this is going to challenge you because you're no longer okay with the old way of operating. You're not really versed in your new ways of operating. And you're discovering all the things that aren't working.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so right now, in this very moment before we proceed, I just want you to honor that big step. Because it's really easy to be like, oh, well, you're going to deal with it like this, and that. But that's part of the problem that has gotten to you to this point. And
Yeah.
all parts of you need that acknowledgement of all the layers you're carrying forward at the moment.
Yeah. It's so hard. It's so weird how that calendar and knowing what comes next for me is so important to me that it's hard to let go of.
Okay,
It's
hold on to that thought for a second. So notice that, right? Notice how it feels, that need to be attached to the calendar. Where do you feel it in your body?
well, it brings up a lot of anxiety for one, but on the other hand, it kind of makes me feel I don't this sounds so vain and so silly, but it almost makes me feel more important because I have a full calendar.
Yeah. Okay, so notice those two things. It's anxiety inducing, but gives you some level of importance. And then tell me if you still think if it's weird after my statements here. One being, when we are in a lot of trauma and there's not a lot of certainty or support, we look to create control.
No, that's the 1,000% right.
Okay, so that's one piece. And then the other piece is when we have not been demonstrated that we are valuable no matter what, we find ways to measure and confirm to ourselves that we are valuable. Whatever is showing up, don't push it back. You're stuffing it down. Do not. It needs to be seen. I know you're going to hate it that every Friday morning you come
It's
up
just
for a
things
good
I thought
cry.
it's things that you think you've completely dealt with, but they keep showing up, right?
And
And
so before you go down the spiral of I should be in a better place,
no, I'm not there. I'm not in that
good,
space.
good. Notice that when it comes to the things we learn, if our body is still imprinted, it hasn't caught up to what we know yet. The wiring, the neural circuitry, this is the neuroplasticity of the brain. It's available, but it hasn't fully integrated. So very much like I've said in other situations is our brain, our memories have tentacles. And so you may have dealt with one part of it in your brain logically, but the rest is still wired underneath. And then there's a bunch of layers and memories and things that have reinforced that. So if you've only kind of addressed it in one area, but it's available in all these other areas. So okay, at work, I feel quite capable. I know I'm capable and worthy, but if at home you're constantly being questioned about your choices and decisions, there's a disconnect. So of course, it never really gets to complete the integration.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
notice that. And so that's why I asked you right now, what does it feel like? And I'm going to cut you off a lot. And I'm sorry, I don't mean
No,
to
you
cut
do
you
what
off
you
from the
need to do.
story.
No.
But we can get caught up in the story. And the truth is, our bodies have another insight.
So tell me about that.
So, what we know cognitively is one thing, what our bodies have imprinted is another. So, for example, right now, you're like, well, the calendar is so important to me, I don't know why. But had we not tuned into your body, that understanding of feeling important wouldn't have shown up.
And I think there's another layer as I'm thinking, and memories are coming back, because regardless, maybe we don't get stuck in the story, but the story brings stuff to us, right?
You've had an understanding imprinted with that memory and that understanding.
Yes. So just bear with me for a second, because I'm thinking this is coming to me and going, okay, so why is the calendar so important? Why does that make me feel important? But there's another aspect, is that it helps me prove that I've done something for the day, when there's nothing necessarily to prove. When you do work the way I do it, there's a lot of work that nobody sees. So when I'm questioned, this is my calendar. This is what I do from a day-to-day basis. My goal is to make sure 80% of that is done, right? But I shouldn't have to prove what I did when I just do it. I shouldn't have to, but I feel like I have to. And that goes right back to my childhood.
Yeah, so many layers here. One being, if you're proving it to anybody but yourself,
That's wrong.
it's so unnecessary. Who are you accountable to?
Me.
Who's the boss?
I am.
Correct.
I made that description, so I would be the boss.
Correct. And so think about that. It's a boundary that you haven't set yet externally, because there's so many layers of like BS telling you, oh, and I'm going to impose here my assumption here. Head of the household. Husband means lording over me,
In
means
a lot of ways,
authority.
yes. Even though he's not that way, it is that way.
And the truth is, even if he doesn't intend it to be that way, you believe it to be that way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that entire paradigm is fucking with your mind.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. I can't count how many times I listened to you say that one clip in your video yesterday, the last couple days.
Which one was it?
Just about women not being able to step into a place of authority. And that wasn't, to be quite honest, that was not my world, except for there's that huge piece of the structure of a family, right? And I've never really believed it to be what the traditional church maybe has said, right? And my family did and didn't live that out.
Yeah, and so like we can call it for what it is, which is the patriarchy.
Yeah.
It's the structure of a family. If you just think about the structure of a family, you're talking about a neutral framework. Until you outline what that structure looks like, the structure of a family is a neutral framework.
Right.
But the patriarchy is loaded with all kinds of understanding.
Right.
So the very first thing you need to be able to do is call it out for what it is. And that has a whole bunch of other layers because your faith is involved.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe I'll see something along the line, but I don't believe that in my heart, I may be acting that way, but I don't believe that my faith interferes with how I feel that, no, I think I feel like it's not making sense when I say it out loud, but I feel like I have the freedom to do what I need to do. No one's keeping me in that space. But I guess there's a safety and a factor that I hold on to.
Yeah, so notice the emotion that's bringing up. There's a disconnect in even you saying that.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. Did I warn you this is a little challenging?
Yeah, it's why I moved some stuff in my calendar today because I can't think for the next hour after I get off the computer with you. And then that sends me down because right after this, I set a time for an hour after this to from you to do work for your project, right? And that does not work because I'm not giving my full self to it when I'm all absorbed in me. So this morning I was sitting in going, because today was on my in the car. I get a lot of time to think when I'm in the car driving. And I was like, how do I make this work? What do I do? Because over 3 days, the words that kept coming to me is overscheduled, underutilized. And I don't want to use the word underproductive because I feel that's a negative connotation to me that says you're not living up to your expectation.
That's a huge awareness.
Yeah, because I work so hard and I know that what you do under here is going to build up here, but you feel lack of production when you don't have something tangible or very visible to measure it on. And so it becomes discouraging. So it's about my schedule, and I think all I see is red. All I see is red. Red is danger. Red is not good.
So I want to actually call attention to that now that you've brought it up again, because who has done this? Who has created this?
I did.
And when did you create that?
I probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when I created that schedule. And I
Okay,
love
so
color coding, and I hate. It's not that I hate the color red. It's probably my least favorite when I draw things to me, right?
so there's a message behind that. It's alert. It induces anxiety in you. It is not a happy color for you. And you chose it to drive the time for your work, either for yourself or others.
Yeah,
There's an understanding there. Everything we do it because it serves us in some way.
right.
So there was something, was your life particularly calm a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
No, no.
So it wasn't particularly calm. So you weren't looking for some kind of element of heightened awareness. Were you feeling like particularly questioned or like you needed to be motivated?
I I wanted to make sure that I was holding space for, and I believe the motivation is great behind it, but I want, because I work with people who are on my YouTube channel and they're watching my stuff, and I wanted to make availability to myself and not book over that and not get where I'm feeling I'm going too many directions. So I'm holding that intentional space for them so that they can book at any time, and I'm not in a place of surprise. I'm not in a place, I'm not caught off guard, and I'm not having to move things. That's the intent. And I believe that's a very good intent because it's necessary for my people to be able to get a hold of me. But I think that how I'm holding that in there is really messing with my head.
Okay, but we're not trying to get to the obvious part. We're trying to get to the unconscious part. So take a nice deep breath and think back to when you were creating this calendar. Feel free to close your eyes and tune into your body and think back to when you were creating this calendar and you were thinking, I'm creating this space for these people. I'm trying to create some semblance of continuity and consistency for myself. Red is not a color I appreciate, but I'm picking it. What was that about? What memories, what thoughts, what shapes, what beliefs, what awareness shows up for you right away?
That when other people call, I have to jump.
Okay. And how do you feel about that?
I hate it. I hate
Okay.
it. I hate it with everything that's in me because I feel like my whole life has been that.
Okay. That is the breakthrough. That in doing that and causing yourself that stress and anxiety, you are actually alerting yourself to the fact that you are not okay with this process. Do you see the wisdom in that?
Moment I will.
Not right now. It just feels bad.
I
Oh
just
no.
hate. This has probably been one of my biggest consistent dark shadows that hangs in my head all the time is that you were created to be here for everybody else but yourself.
There is the crux of the earlier part of the conversation. What's the word after you? Or the words after you?
Created.
And where is the creation understanding stem from?
Well, my faith.
Do you see where there's the disconnect? You have something you value and are trying to guide your life through, and yet it is asking something that innately feels not right.
And I think that's something I probably put on myself, not something necessarily that, I mean, no, I will be honest, growing up was taught a lot about all that stuff. But as I've grown an adult, I've tried to move beyond that stuff. But yet I guess it still holds on.
We are layered parts and pieces of us. And what we know today is not necessarily what's imprinted in our unconscious.
Right.
Again, I come back to the conscious awareness, unconscious imprinting.
Yeah.
And maybe this will help you. I'm going to share an example. I don't tend to want to share examples of my own in your sessions, mostly because I don't want to derail, but I think it'll help see the depths of the imprint. So that we can give you, I see how valuable that is for you to witness what I'm going through in on the other stuff. So this is why I'm sharing this. I've recently done some really deep work around feeling evil for trusting my intuition. Where would I get that? I got it. And one of the things I was struggling with in my manifestation was because that was based on my intuition and my creation, my personal power. And I have to have faith and trust in that what I believe is coming for me is coming for me.
Yeah.
That felt like demonic and not
Step it out of the line.
correct. That's not my belief structure anymore. It hasn't been for 6-7 years. But it is so deep. And when I did the somatic experiencing work with my mentor, my awareness as we're doing the body awareness, how old were you when you understood that? First of all, I was experiencing that in womb from my mother and her energy because she just
Yeah.
did not want me. And
Yeah.
secondly, I was on top of that, I think I was 4. My awareness was I was 4 when I understood that.
Right.
I said something, behaved some way that allowed me to show that I knew something that I shouldn't know. And I was squashed somehow. I don't have all the details because I haven't gone to
No,
it
I
too deeply.
totally understand that. And I understand it for the reason of when about a year and a half ago, and my husband and I were having a conversation about some of my struggles with my mindset and him and relating work and stuff like that, because he is inquisitive, but he comes and he talks like a boss, and I go, this is not your space, back off. Right. I've told him, hit the road, dude. You can't touch this space. But we would sit there and talk, and then we would talk about the family and how everything kind of merges, because as you know, when you are a self-employed person, it is not about work-life balance, it's about work-life integration and how you make it all work. And I kept saying to him, he said, why do you feel that way? I said, I don't know, I just feel guilty. I just feel guilty. And I think in a 10-minute conversation, I said, I feel guilty so many times. So I went on this journey to try and figure out why somebody would feel so literally chronically guilty. And it took me to a place of understanding my personality. So that was very freeing to me, to understand that my personality picks up energies from other people. I could walk past somebody who's going through shit and pick up all their stuff and take it with me, just because that's who I am, and I carry everything right here. And that my I know things about people, and I have to be careful because I will say things and it scares the hell out of people, because they're like, how the F did you know that? So I get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah. So you totally get it. And so this is actually the perfect example because I was itty bitty and
But
so
how
far
would you?
removed.
How would
Yeah,
you?
it is so ingrained. And so I don't know, again, we haven't gotten into the nitty-gritty of your story because we really haven't had time. But at the end of the day, this is about what's showing up for you kind of play by play to manage versus just dive into looking backwards. So when it comes to what's showing up, there's a really good chance that the reason part of it is you're intuitive, but also you are probably an empath. And then on top of that, if you were parentified as a kid or
A what?
not
Sorry? Parent.
parentified, yeah, like made responsible for parent responsibilities,
Oh,
like supporting them emotionally or like
no, no.
or okay, yeah, or like not being supported even yourself emotionally, you'd
That,
be on hyper alert
yes.
for everybody else. And so all of your sensitivities that you already had, that kind of um, sensitivity to external stimulus, would then on top of that be magnified because you wouldn't have had anybody to help you regulate that.
No. But so the
So
second half of that, yes, absolutely.
yeah, and being parentified, I can't even say the word, but it's one of the ways that that happens because it's ultimately like you weren't supported instead, and rather you were doled out adult responsibilities at an early age. So whether that's like caring for your
Yeah,
siblings or
yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So that was not your responsibility. It was your parents, and yet they dropped it on you.
yeah.
And that's beyond being like a good big sister. It's about, hey, you're responsible for this, whether it's implied or spoken. You weren't supported, and then you were dumped on a responsibility that at a developmental stage you were not ready for.
Yeah.
And so that is the root of your anxiety because that's how
Just
you're
kind of a,
operating. That's how you're operating. Your whole system is operating on this paradigm. Even though you know today you're resilient and you're capable, that underneath wiring, that early wiring, those younger parts of you that are not fully integrated into who you are today are still experiencing that experience in life.
1,000%, because there's always that voice in the back that says somebody's questioning or relying on you, and instead of the other way around, and me feeling this urgent need to drop everything to service other people at the detriment of something that's still very important to me, because they all seem to rise up to the same priority, they all seem to come to the same level. And so then there's that anxiety that comes with, well, if they're both at the same level and I only have this much time, how do I do it? Right?
Yeah. And so that piece that you just became aware of, that not being able to prioritize yourself over the needs of others, that's a learned behavior.
For
That's
sure.
not about your personality. That's a learned behavior. That's when you have not been taught that you are a priority, that you are
Oh,
valuable,
yeah.
that you deserve your own time and attention. Yeah, so notice what that brings up. Okay, let that free flow. Don't stuff it down, because remember, it's here because it's ready to be released. It hurts, it's uncomfortable, but notice how it's showing you where we need to go.
It makes me angry and it makes me resentful that I
Yeah,
feel like everyone else gets to dictate to me my priorities. Everyone
yeah,
else gets to tell me no and put boundaries. And boundaries is something I've always struggled with. And if you knew me 30 years ago, you'd be, well, you definitely have some boundaries now, but I know that they're not where they need to be. And
yeah,
just that fear of speaking my boundaries, that fear of placing my boundaries and not worrying about rejection, not worrying about, that I won't feel, I guess, needed in a sense.
yeah. Okay, so notice that. And I want you to honor right now the power of all the things you just said. Okay. I know it doesn't feel good to experience those feelings. And notice what's happening in your body as you say all those things. Can you call out what you're noticing?
Oh, my chest is just like, and it just, the anger that I have inside me that I know this and it sits there, but I don't know how to say, get the fuck over there. Go
Okay.
over there. Like, and I'm okay with it because I can say that. And then I have a knee-jerk reaction that goes, oh, but then you won't be in my space because I've shut you out.
Notice that. Okay. And that's the autopilot, right? The autopilot response was conditioned from if you don't do the, so let's go to the very um like the very like rudimentary belief there is when I prioritize others, I get love.
Yeah,
I get accepted.
yeah.
Okay.
When I do things for them, then I have a place in their life.
Yes.
If
So notice that. How does it feel to acknowledge that? Notice what's happening in your body.
it just makes me fearful
Okay. Yeah.
because it's such an unknown space. It's like I say that and I can see this like voided bubble of ah, they're over here and I'm over here. And yet we're supposed to be in the same space, but there's this like force field between us that doesn't allow you to be together because of, I don't know, like,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So notice what you're feeling, all of this. We're going to do some compassionate self forgiveness, and then we're going to do some acknowledgement and celebration because we will want to create a release around this. Okay. You are aware of it now. You get to choose how you operate forward. Doesn't mean it's automatically gone. You just get to be in a different relationship with it. Okay.
I'm just trying to let it all sit because, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
feel
it is.
very celebratory when you said that. I'm like, I don't feel very celebratory.
That's okay, but that's why we're doing it because right now we're judging this experience and this witnessing as bad because it feels bad. But the truth is, this block is the key to getting to the other side. Seeing these feelings, this emotion, that's the tool. That gives us the magnitude of understanding here. And because it's coming up, it doesn't have to continue to be buried or get louder. It gets to be witnessed. So that's what I mean by changing the relationship with it. You've been hiding it because what happens if A, you see it and do nothing, or B, you see it and you have to continue?
what's the difference between witnessing something and knowing it, or being seen and witnessing? Like you said those two things, and to me they almost integrate. So
Yes.
help me understand so I can separate them.
So witnessing is it's similar but not always the same. So witnessing it is like just it's like you could um witness a historical event, right? You
Yeah.
could have been there, you could have seen everything play out, and you know you witnessed it. It's there. And then seeing it is like you might go back to that witnessing moment and see all the
Right.
parts and pieces that
That's my
happened.
dog. They're just,
Yeah,
they play and they get like this. I'm sorry.
that's okay.
There we go. I have controls.
So seeing it is you might go back and see like, oh, so and so was wearing this dress, and this one was wearing that, and this one was really happy, and this one was showing a stress, and this one. So like you're really seeing the picture. Witnessing is we might not understand the magnitude of it, but we're present with it.
Okay.
And then there's the element of being seen is just being visible.
Right.
Right? So there's layers to it, but in this context, the witnessing is like you may not comprehend everything, but you're allowing yourself to see it right now.
Okay.
You're holding
That's the
space
piece.
for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the feelings get so big and the convoluted mess in my head tells me you have to put it in a bucket and you have to start digging at all the buckets to fix them all the buckets.
And the witnessing is just about letting it rise up and be here without having to do anything.
So seeing without responsibility, but yeah, like there's a responsibility, but it's not my responsibility of what's going on.
Well, you get to choose how you approach it. You get to choose. It's in your power to choose how you respond to it. But
Right,
in witnessing it, there's no responsibility other than holding space for it.
right. I think that's where I get kind of messed up, is that seeing and witnessing and acknowledging, and then this absolute crushing um, feeling that I have to dig to the bottom and deal with it and put it in a package and put it on the shelf and make it in that space where it's just there. It's just got its own
Heal it.
space. Yeah, right. Right.
So healing is not like this. It's more like
No, and totally.
this.
And this and
Yes, correct.
and it's
Exactly,
painful.
precisely.
It's painful. Healing is painful, but
Okay,
freeing at
but
the end. But at the end, it's free. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like the journeys through healing are not necessarily comforting at the moment.
but holding on to it is painful.
Yes.
So notice your relationship with healing, even in that description, is you're focusing on the immediate alert system of pain and you're judging it when you're living with it, whether you deal with it or not.
Right.
You're carrying it no matter what.
Right. Damn, you're good at this.
Thank you.
But I honestly, I'm sitting here thinking about all the stuff that I struggle with the most and working in, and I know this isn't about you and me together, but that is as much about my journey as this.
Yeah.
And
And maybe there's a reason, we were supposed to
I totally
exchange.
know that. Yes. And I'm, cause it's, you were talking and I'm going, those breakthroughs don't come through because they're the biggest parts of me, but have somebody witness both sides of it makes that awareness to call my shit. Like, you know, and understanding a lot of where I come from. And it doesn't, I guess I have to get to the space that just because those things were ingrained in me doesn't mean I have to let go of my faith and my love of God. It just is
Your
letting go
relationship.
of, yeah.
your relationship with how you understood those things early on and how they were imprinted in you early on, and then changing your relationship so it's updated to what you know today and how you choose to interact with it.
And it's choosing. And I've always been reactionary and not making the intentional choice to walk forward with something. I always am feeling about how do I react and how do I,
Do you see the winding ball of yarn?
oh my God, it's a mess. It's more like
it's
Christmas lights.
it's
It's all like
all
Christmas lights.
jumbled.
Can't get them away apart from each
Yeah,
other.
it's all jumbled in there. So, okay. So I feel like you're getting the complexity of it.
Yeah.
The very first compassionate self-forgiveness I want us to talk about. So just take a nice deep breath, and I'm gonna get you in through the nose and out through the nose.
You always say this after I've cried and my nose is stuck to the max.
Okay, out through your mouth if you can. Do you need to go get Kleenex? Go ahead if you need to. You're
It's
okay.
okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I'll wash my hands later.
It's all good. I'm just creating
Ugly
space for it.
cry. I'm used to it. I do a lot of ugly cries.
This is the place. We love ugly cries. We welcome them. We celebrate them.
Right?
Okay, so you ready? Notice where your body's at right now. Call it out.
I feel like my upper half is disconnected from my lower half. The upper half feels heavy and constricted, and my lower half just wants to melt.
Okay, that's pretty powerful.
I
This is
felt that
really
way for days, so that's how come I can define it.
so, and it could be like one part of you is ready to let go, the other part is really holding on, right? So notice that disconnect we talked about, even in your body showing up. This is really powerful, Dania. This is amazing that you're connecting to this, considering last week we couldn't really identify barely the freeze. Like this is pretty powerful. I know it feels like you've just kind of been rolling in these odd sensations, but you've been doing some deep work.
Yeah, I totally have. I recognize that part about it. I would say internal wrestling really a lot at night, in the day. It's always because I'm a person who tries to make sense of it all the time. And my
Yeah,
brain doesn't stop, and I really want it to stop.
you will
I
get
just
there.
wanna, I just wanna be content in my head and my thoughts and my soul, my
Yeah,
heart.
that's
Because
beautiful.
because I think it hurts other people because I have so much tornado. And this part I didn't get to tell you last week that the first week we went through this, and I'm reading that book, and it's talking about our energies. And it's talking about how we put off what we have inside of us, and it was so clear as a day. It was like good energy and bad energy, and what do I relate as bad energy, and what would it feel like for somebody else to be next to my bad energy. And it was like bad energy to me I would relate to being in an earthquake or being next to a tornado. And it was sickening to think that that's how much anxiety I have inside me, and that the people who walk in my space must feel like that the electrical pulses are just dangerous, even though my intent is never there.
Okay. So notice how you've magnified your responsibility too. Okay, so just take a nice deep breath because that's pretty powerful what you just said. And so, couple of things. When it comes to this journey, as much as you know that that's going to impact other people, and it's so wonderful that you are concerned about how you're impacting others, I need you to understand, you need you to understand that this journey and this work while a byproduct of it is that you're going to pour out so much love and good juju to everybody else, it's only about you. Your only responsibility here is to you. Okay? That is the number one thing. So we're actually going to start with that compassionate self-forgiveness. Okay? I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding.
I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding.
That I am responsible for everybody else's experience.
That I'm responsible for everybody else's experience.
The truth
is,
I get to journey down this road at my own pace.
I get to journey down this road at my pace.
And the truth
is,
everyone is responsible for their own experience in this life.
Everyone is responsible for their own experience in this life.
Okay, what are you noticing in your body as you take that in?
Just calming.
Okay.
Acknowledgement that I've known and learned over the years that 2, 3 people can go through the exact same thing and experience the exact same circumstances and impacts and come out with very different experiences and stories. And you can't control that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Notice that. We're just going to sit with this for a second as it just kind of integrates. Okay. And just so you know, burping, gas, yawning, all of these are somatic releases. So if you feel the urge to do any of that, don't hold it back because it means there's a shift happening in your body, okay? If you feel like moving a certain way, that's all part of the release, okay? And it'll get more frequent the more you do this work. So just know that.
Great.
Okay?
Flatulence is my biggest problem. Not my problem, the thing that I hate. My pet peeve.
Yeah.
The world is a way of making you feel.
Yeah, well, and if you're balling a lot of this up in your gut, the flatulence will be a part of it. And so you might actually find that over time and doing this work, it starts to get a little bit more released. It's not as not as much of an intense problem. Okay, so how you doing?
Yeah, it's better.
Good. Okay, the next one. I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding.
I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding
That I'm not allowed to take up space.
that I'm not allowed to take up space.
The truth
is,
I was put here to step into my power and experience this journey on my terms.
And experience this journey on my terms.
And the truth
is,
I get to honor my needs.
I get to honor my needs.
And the truth
is,
I'm the only one responsible for creating space for me.
I'm the only one who's responsible for creating space for me.
So what that means is I get to take up as much space as I need.
So that means is I get to take up as much space as I need.
It's not up to anybody else.
It's not up to anybody else.
They don't get a say.
They don't get a say. I feel like those people don't expect that space, but then I create a story that says that.
Well, remember, it's trained behavior.
Yeah.
It's a safety behavior, right? Okay. Let me know when you're ready for the next one. I don't want to rush you.
No.
And if as
Okay.
long as you have a little bit of time, I'm okay to go over till we're done with these.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Wonderful. Notice your body, what's happening in your body. Let's do a check-in.
I feel like some of it's sunk to my stomach, but it's released up here.
Okay. What's your body say on a scale of 1 to 10? Is 1 being this feels supercharged, 10, or sorry, 10 being it feels supercharged, 1 being it's not so charged. Not from your mind, from your body. What's the autopilot? What's the
Yeah.
instinctual
I
response?
think it's like at a 5-6, kind of
Okay.
like not extreme, but it's not in the lower part either.
Okay.
It's there's this thing that wants to rise up and resist, but I know that I'm trying to take it and say it's okay.
Okay. So just don't try to make it be what it's not. Allow it to be whatever it is. This is important.
I'm scared. I'm
Mhm.
scared to make this change because it's all I know.
Yeah. Honor that. Yeah.
Will people love me and like me
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
if
Okay. So
I,
let's,
yeah,
yeah, keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
will people love me and like me when I'm not servicing their needs?
Okay. Okay. So close your eyes, tune into your body, and tell me how old you are when you're thinking this.
I feel like elementary school
Okay. What grade?
always, I feel like somewhere around like grade 3, 8 or
Okay.
9.
Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
think when I became aware of that doing things made people appreciate me more, or I felt appreciated more.
Okay.
And
Can
I
you
think that's
see?
it. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you see that 8 or 9-year-old Dania in your mind?
Yeah, I
What?
see everything around me. I see
Okay.
everything around me, not necessarily me.
Okay. I want you to have a look around you. See what you see around you in this vision of little
Oh,
Dania.
okay.
Okay. And as you're looking around, I want you to like position yourself, bring your current self with you there to sit beside little Dania as she's looking around. What's her surrounding? Yeah, 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 yeah.
See myself. So we had this property and we had several forts, like tree forts and stuff on. We had like 10 acres. And I see myself in one of them crying in one of the forts by myself because I felt like I could never do enough to
Go
make
sit.
my parents and my family proud of me,
Okay,
or my friends look beyond the fact that my parents were a little bit weird.
okay, okay. Go sit with her right now. Go sit with her. Let her cry, but you're beside her, okay? What does she need from you? Does she need a hug? Does she need you to hold her hand? Do that, whatever she needs from you. Let her cry and hold her. What does she need to hear?
But I'm not a failure.
So go ahead and
But I
tell her
have
that.
done enough.
Okay, go ahead and tell her that. How would you tell an 8-year-old version of you with all the love of a mom, of a best friend, that she's doing enough?
I see how much you love me. I see how much you want to please me. And I see how much you do to help me. And I love it.
Oh,
It's perfect. It's enough. You did enough. The rest will get done tomorrow or the next day. Or maybe it's just not important.
yeah. And what would you let her know about the fact that it is, if it's her responsibility or not?
You didn't ask for all this responsibility of chores and work, of our choices of how to live. And we all work as a family, but it's not your responsibility to ensure that tomorrow we have enough. Tomorrow we've done enough to heat our home, to that the animals will be fed, that the laundry will be done, that the yard will be worked on, that the garden will grow. We just do it together. We do it as we can. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Oh.
And at the end of the day, I will be proud of what you did, and I will love you.
And do you need to do anything to be loved?
I don't know.
What
I
do you
don't
think?
know.
What do you think? What does you now think? Do you think that little girl deserves love no matter what? Okay, so tell her that.
I just love you for you.
Yeah.
I I love everything about you.
Yeah.
You're not lazy. You're not selfish.
Does she get to be a little girl?
Yes, you can go play. You
Yeah.
can go play at the beach.
Yeah. Will
And
you go to
today
the
we don't
beach?
have to do any work. Today we just have a little bit of fun. And it's
Okay.
okay. And if you don't do it, I'm not going to withhold food from you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beat you. You
Will you
don't
go with
have
her?
to worry that if you don't do enough, you won't eat.
Yeah. Can you take her to the beach? Can you go with her to the beach right now? Can you show her that? Yeah. What does the beach look like? What does she love about the beach?
My dad would finally play with me at the
Yeah.
beach. And
Yeah.
he would build sandcastles with me.
Okay. Go build a sandcastle with Dad and with her. Yeah. Can you tell me about the sandcastle you're building?
And it's the biggest. And
Yeah.
it's the best.
Oh, so good. How does she feel to see that sandcastle?
just looking at my dad and just saying, look what we did together.
Yeah.
And calling my mom, saying, look what she did. Look
Yeah.
at what she did. We did this together, but I couldn't have done it without her.
Yeah. That's so beautiful.
But it was fun. And I didn't do it wrong. We
Yeah.
built it my way, and it
Yeah.
still was great.
Yeah. You have great ideas. Can you, how would you like to let her know that?
Let's take a picture of you
Yeah.
by the sandcastle so you can see it forever.
Yeah. Do you have the picture? Can you look at the picture for a little while? Notice your
Me and
body
my
and
dad.
yeah, look at the picture and notice your body and what it feels like to have that memory
Not
forever.
scared to be next to my dad.
Yeah,
To be
it's
able
so,
to just lean into him and him to just be smiling and just proud of me.
yeah. Wow. How did she receive all of that? What does she want to say?
Can't wait to do it again. I
Yeah,
can't
let's
wait
do it.
to have fun again. And
Yeah. When are you gonna do it next?
pardon?
When are you gonna do it next?
Maybe next week.
Wonderful.
Maybe we'll just go away and stay at the beach instead of have vacations that are half work.
Yeah. What's happening in your body as you give yourself that freedom to plan that vacation? That's a true vacation.
Honey, anger,
You feel anger.
because I want this. And I would have loved to have that same experience doing the things that we did.
Yeah.
But it was always shrouded with an expectation. I just want to go without expectations.
Okay. So
I
give
just
her
want
that.
to, we just want to go and just go with the moment and play and not have an agenda to do so. Oh my God. Always have the next thing to do before the
Yeah.
day is done. That the
Yeah.
list will be no more.
Yeah.
And that I'm good enough to just do what I know needs to be done and not miss it because I'm not worried about the list. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about what everybody else needs me to do, but I need to do what I need to do. And today, it's just play.
Wonderful. So I want you to give her a big hug and let her know that she gets to play and there's no agenda. How does she receive that?
It's kind of skeptical.
Okay, that's fine. You know, she's new to this. You know, it'll take her a while to warm up to it, but she's new to this, so that's okay. Is there a compassionate self-forgiveness that you want to bring in here?
To bring me or bring my dad or my
Bring
family.
yourself. Bring yourself, and it can be about any of the understandings that you brought up. Because even though that was the expectation, you understood that that was acceptable, and you're carrying that forward into your life today. And if you release that understanding, you no longer have to carry it forward. If you
Forgive
need some help,
myself for
yeah,
forgive myself for not for thinking that just because there's always something more that can be done doesn't mean I'm choosing to ignore it or to procrastinate. Because the truth is that sometimes you just need to step out of it.
yeah. Sometimes you just need to play.
Sometimes you just need to play and
Yeah,
not worry about how much is still left to do.
yeah. Can I offer one for you? I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding
I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding
that because my parents couldn't see or couldn't give me playtime,
because my parents couldn't give me playtime,
that I have to continue to treat myself that way.
that I have to continue to treat myself.
The truth is,
The truth is,
I deserve to have things that bring me joy.
sorry, say that again.
I deserve things that bring me joy, to have things that bring me joy.
I deserve to have things that bring me joy.
I deserve to have rest,
I deserve to have rest.
and I deserve to do nothing.
And I deserve to do nothing. Can you tell me something?
Yeah,
What does deserve really mean?
yeah. It means it's available to you without any required, in this context, it's available to you without any required exchange.
I'll write that down, okay? One sec.
Yeah. In the context of a little kid deserves to play. That is how they learn about the world. That is how they wire their systems to understand the world.
The reason I ask is because deserve and selfishness have crossed boundaries.
Okay. Okay. So let me give you this insight. Selfishness is a judgment of um, a person's needs. Okay. A child has a need to play, and we all deserve to have our needs met. Just because, let's say, I deserve to have something, and just because you don't value it doesn't mean I don't deserve it. And you can judge that as selfish, but it doesn't mean I don't deserve it. You see
Right?
how they got convoluted in it?
Yeah. I I hear for me statements that people say to me stay verbatim in my head, in their voice, in their tone, and they carry through my life.
Yeah, that's that hyper alertness imprinting that, because that means your safety, that ensures your survival. That hyper alertness.
Yeah, it's like stay in your lane or we're going to swat you there. So if I remember those things, they keep me there.
Yeah,
They keep me in the space where I'm not stepping out of line.
yeah. Okay. This is so powerful. Do you see the level of magnitude of the work that you did?
Yes, because we talked about my freaking calendar. And then we went all the way to when I saw my dad every day lists that he would create. I could like his little paper with the little line. He had the little books in his pocket all the time, and every day he left us a list of things to do.
Okay, so I want you to notice how that calendar
I
keeps it
know.
familiar.
I
Keeps it
know. When we
familiar.
said that, that's why I was like, oh,
And just how you didn't like it then, you don't like it now.
don't. Because if I don't do enough, I don't deserve to even eat, don't even deserve
Yep,
sit, to just be, and
yep. You
to,
have to pay your keep.
if you don't work, you don't eat. That
Yeah,
was
you have
my
to pay.
family's motto.
That's paying your keep. Can you see how damaging that is for a little child who just deserves to be nourished? Okay, so I have to honor the fact that I have to take my dog to the vet.
You definitely have just, yeah. And I'm just, that was
So I
way
want,
longer.
but that's okay. So I want you to honor, this is the celebration piece right now. Look at how much work you did today. What do you want to say to your little version of yourself for all of this awareness?
You get to go skip through the field today. You get to
Okay,
go play in the sunshine and not worry. Not worry about somebody's going to be mad that you took some time down. You don't have
okay,
to be busy all the time.
okay. And what do you want to say to current you in celebration of all of this work you've done today?
You do enough. You do enough. And you don't need to pressure yourself to do more. And then you can enjoy what you do when you do it, because you don't have to worry about the next thing.
Okay, so good. Your homework this week. I want you to, this was a lot and it's so layered. I want you to reflect on everything that showed up for you today, maybe even watch this recording again.
I
Okay.
haven't dared to watch our recordings because I feel like I'm just going to have big cry again.
Okay, well, just go into your memory if this feels overwhelming to do it on your own. No worries. Honor
Yeah.
that. Okay. So just go into your memory and write down everything that you are aware of and how it relates to this work. Okay. To this calendar situation and how you're feeling. Because we need to unpack this a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so just keep going on this. And I want you to also think about ways you can free what would feel better so that you can still prioritize the things that are important to you without having to alarm your system to do it. Change your relationship with it. Okay. I really have to run, Dania. I hate to leave you like this, but
No, you don't. I'm good. I will be good. Yeah.
good. Great work today.
I appreciate you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I can't wait to see what we do together. Out
Honestly,
of joy.
we're just getting started.
And
We
I'm not
haven't even
talking
scratched
about
the
this.
surface.
This is outside of that. I can't wait to see what we do together outside of it.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Go enjoy your dog. Bye.
Have a good one.